Bonjour everyone, Pantoufleee here today for a new video in which we're going to talk about one of the oldest tank destroyers but still extremely relevant and probably in my top 3 at the moment, aka the T-30, the mighty Tier 9 American tank destroyer. There are two reasons actually for me to talk about this tank. First, because I received an awesome replay that exactly features how you're supposed to play the tank, but also because it's been a very long time since my latest review and things went by and updates were going on, etc, etc. So I thought it would be a good idea for you to get a fresh update on what you could expect from this beast, because yeah, it's a beast. I feel like it's important to bring out another tank when we're talking about the T-30, simply because the tank itself is based on the T-34, which is an American Tier 8 heavy tank and a premium one. And due to the fact that it was one of the first tanks to be introduced as the premium and especially at Tier 8, it's either quite a popular tank from time to time, but also a tank that a lot of people already have in their garage. And if you already have this one and you know how to play it, then you already know how to play the T-30, because beside the alpha damage, both tanks are equally the same. The only difference between both being that here you have 400 alpha damage, whereas on the Tier 9 you have 640. But talking about the statistics, let's jump directly into it, because here we have 2.6k DPM, which is really good for a tank destroyer at Tier 9, 276 base penetration and 320 with your gold shell, 640 as I just mentioned, 545 alpha damage with your gold shell, and most importantly 10 degrees of gun depression mounted on something that is literally impossible to penetrate for most of the tanks. Still, there is a possibility to get penetrated right here and here if the enemies are using gold shell and they are tank destroyers, but beside that, if you're facing Tier 8 or even Tier 9, it's not gonna happen. You also have that little cupola right there that from time to time can be penetrated, but if you use your 10 degrees of gun depression, you don't see it at all, which means that most of the time you are gonna bounce shells, which makes this tank the perfect one to play in all down. Of course, it comes with a downside with its top speed, which really sucks. 28 average speed. It's not going to be enough for you to take advanced position, aggressive position, or whatsoever. But as you're a tank destroyer, it's not necessarily something bad, because in the end, you don't need to play aggressively. You're a tank destroyer. Tank destroyers are not supposed to go front line. I mean, you can play them front line, but most of the time, people tend not to know how to do it. So you would rather stay in the back, and for this, the mobility is perfect. Concerning the equipments, I'm not going to bother explaining all of them. I just want to mention that I'm using Refine Gun simply because without this one, you are going to miss quite a lot of shells. And as you have something like 14 seconds of reload, it's extremely frustrating for you to sneak your shot and for it to either bounce because it doesn't go where you want, or even worse, just miss the target. Now comes the time where we talk about the playstyle. And here, what makes me love this tank is first because the playstyle is really simple, but also because it attracts newbies. I mean, it's quite easy for you to do a good game with the T-30. Just show your turret, or in other words, be all down, and that's it. And here we have the pleasure of watching Muna Oshinova playing his T-30, and he's gonna do what an awesome game. Like, literally, it's one of the craziest games I've seen in the T-30, and this is why I decided to feature it on the channel. First of all, I'm going to lower down a little bit the volume for me. It's not going to change anything for you, but for me it's a little bit better. And here we see that our friend is already at the right position, and I'm going to highlight to you why. Here you see that every single opponent, or at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, 5 of them, and must have like the tank destroyers camping in the back, but they are all stuck here. And when you take a look at the T-30, you see that he's only exposing his turret. And when you expose only your turret and using also your gun depression, you make it literally impossible for your opponents to penetrate. And I also love the fact that our friend went directly for the Grill 15 instead of the others to be able to sneak an HE shot. Unfortunately for him, if you take a look at the teammates he has, it looks like they are not gonna try to help him at all. As long as the enemies are not trying to push, he's safe, but if they try to push and circle them, it's over. Let's say that with the T-30, as long as you stand your ground and they can only see your turret, you're good, but whenever they try to push and they see your hull, it's over for you. And Muna knows that. This is why he's retreating as soon as the 50B is trying something. Now, of course, he has to anticipate. He knows the 60TB is probably going to come around, so instead of pushing through and trying to sneak a shot on the 50B, he would rather hide in the back in order for him to be able to bounce the 60TP and the Kranwagen. And this is exactly what you expect a T30 player to do. So for the moment, it's a perfect. So there we go. Let's see what he can do. Maybe if he's lucky enough, he's going to be able to Amarak the... I did not watch, trust me, I know it's hard to believe, but I did not watch a replay before to know if he was going to Amarak the 60TP. I discovered it with you guys. So yeah, that was a really good one. GG. And now all he has to do is dealing with the rest. Of course, it helped him quite a lot because Amaraking a full life 60TP is always good for the damage. And now he only has to deal with a T22 uncatchable. And as you can see, our friend is still hiding the lower part of the hull. He's only showing his turret. All you have to do is this, and it's just as simple as that. And let's say that for the people that already own the T34, this is a tank you want to acquire because it has the exact same playstyle. So if you enjoy your T34, you're going to enjoy even more your T30. But it goes the other way around. If you are an owner of the T30 and you want to get a taste of a pretty similar tier 8 tank, then yeah, this one is definitely for you. This HE definitely went through. Yeah, just take a look at that. 1k damage again. So here our friend is probably sitting at 7k damage or so. He only has to deal with 2 remaining tanks. Is he gonna go for the Grill or the Conway, or maybe both actually, because he could go for both? I think our friend is gonna go for the Grill. He needs to find him because if I'm not mistaken, the Grill is really close. He's like right around the corner. Yeah, he is. So there we go. Our friend is gonna try to sneak a shot on the Grill, or no, he doesn't care. He really wants to get the Conway, and he did right. He did right because the Conway was trying something, killing him in the process and securing quite a lot of damage. You're gonna see, guys, because at the end he ends up with nearly 8k damage. An ace tanker, well deserved obviously, and quite a juicy shot on the poor 60TP. Just take a look at this poor guy, man. The 60TP is the new IS-7 unfortunately, but hey, this is something you'll have to deal with. So yeah, in the end that was a crazy game with the T30. It was obviously easy for him as soon as the 60TP was killed, but even if it was not the case and he did not Amarak him, he would have been able to do a good game. I trust my man here. So thank you, Muna, for sending me this replay. It was awesome to watch and comment, especially during this Amarak. And guys, if you are looking for a tier 9 tank destroyer that is easy to take in hands and that doesn't require a lot of skill, then the T30 is definitely a tank for you. Yeah.